Hello, Keith Rucker here at VintageMachinery.org. Guys, today it is new machine day in the shop. Picked up a new piece of little equipment here that I thought I'd share with you guys. This was actually a gift of a viewer. This came from Cliff Taylor, who lives up in Ellijay, Georgia. I had the chance to meet Cliff. Actually, I've met him a couple of times. We usually run into each other each year at the Midwest Tool Collectors Association's tool meet that they have in Madison, Georgia in February each year at their Peach Meet, they call it. And this past year when I was up there chatting with him, he told me he had this little band filer and wanted to donate it to the cause. So anyway, about a week or two ago, Cliff was coming through the area or made a trip down here, brought this down to me. And because he lives way up in the North Georgia mountains, way north of where I am. I'm almost to Florida in the state of Georgia. So he made a trip down, brought this down to me. I think he said he had to run over to Charleston or Savannah or something like that, which not a direct route, but he did it anyway. But anyway, nice little addition to the shop. So I thought I'd share this. This is kind of an unusual machine, something that you really don't see in shops hardly at all anymore. But back in the day, these were not all that uncommon. So this is a band filer, and you think of it kind of like a band saw, but instead of having a saw blade on here, what this has is it has a file that goes down, and you can actually file on it. Instead of having to take a hand file, you can come in here and press up against the back plate and be able to file stuff. These were commonly used by tool and die makers for fine tuning stuff. You might have seen the little filing machines, the reciprocating filing machines that kind of go up and down. This is the same type of product, but instead of having it go up and down where you're only cutting on half the stroke, this one is continuous. You have a band that's going around in a circle and with that file on there. So anyway, pretty neat little setup. Like I said, not very commonly seen. I don't even know that you can get files for these things anymore, but it's got a set of files on here that's pretty good right now. Let me kind of zoom in here and show you a few things, and we'll try it out and kind of give it a test run, see how it works. So first off, just looking at the machinery tag on this, kind of hard to read it. Even and get a flashlight around, it's kind of hard to read, but this is made by Grob brothers out of, what's that, Grafton, Wisconsin. This is a type B3, and the machine number is 304. I'm thinking that's probably the serial number. It's got a couple of patent dates stamped in here very lightly. There's 2 patent dates listed on there. Haven't looked the patents up or anything like that, but anyway, that's kind of what this is. And Grob Brothers, they made band saws and band filing machines primarily, along with some other products, but for the metalworking world, that was kind of what their specialties were. And I think these guys started in a garage, and I don't think they ever became a very huge company, but there's quite a few Grob Brother machines still out there in the wild today. Now, when I say a band filer, and you're thinking, well, how do you put a file on a band that's going to go around the wheel? Well, this is how they did it. You can kind of see they got little segments of files, and these are kind of hinged. There's a little back piece on there. It's only attached in the center, so it can go, it's kind of like a chain behind it. It'll go around the wheel, but when it gets down to the flat sections, they got a little backer back here behind it that presses and kind of supports that. So when it's going around the top, you can see these little pieces of plates or files just kind of are going around in a circle with that kind of chain. I'm calling it a chain, but it's kind of like a chain in that it'll flex like that in sections that this is attached to. And that's how it works. Whenever you needed to, you would replace the whole band. And they had different files and different profiles that you could order. In fact, I got a little bit of literature from Grob Brothers that shows the files that they did offer for these. So this is a little brochure that I found up on my website at VintageMachinery.org that shows a little bit about the files that they had, that they offered, and you can kind of see how they work. Here's a kind of a picture showing there's that straight piece, and you kind of got the little chain on the back side, and it's in segments. It kind of folds around as it goes around that wheel. And here you can kind of see on a wheel a sectional view kind of showing that where the chain just wraps around the top. Of course, when it goes straight up and down, they just kind of all blends in together. Now, as far as the files that they offered, basically they came in these profiles right here, And they had different sizes for different machines. So these were the bigger ones for their bigger machines. Some of these were like floor model machines. Mine is the small, mine's a bench model. It's the B3. They made the B3 in both a bench and a floor model, but these were kind of considered light duty files. And you can see there were 19 files. If you order one of those 19 files, they did include an extra one that came with it. On some of the other ones, they had 18, 30, 20, 25 files, depending on the model. So you can see these were much smaller down here. But basically, they offered it in a flat, which is what I've got on there. It's a 1/4 inch wide, flat, but they also had a half round. They had an oval and a triangular one, and then they also had abrasive stones that were like, I'm guessing like a sharpening type stone. So if you wanted to stone something, that would be really cool. And you can see the prices on these. I don't know what the date, I don't see a date on this particular publication, but I'm guessing probably 1940s, 1950s. You can kind of see what the prices were on there for those different bands of files. On the back of the machine here, you can see how this is powered. You got the motor. There's a step pulley here with multiple diameters in it, and then that goes down to the main drive wheel. And it looks like you could change these out up here to different levels. There is a screw over here that adjusts this up and down. Back here in the back. No, that's a spring. I thought that was a screw, but that's a spring. So let's see. Yeah, okay, so you can just lift that up. I'm figuring this out as I go, so you can lift that up, I guess, and just move this over. The motor's not adjustable. It is a little bit kind of crooked too. I don't know if it's made that way on purpose. It almost looks like it's made to be, no, I think, okay, the motor's just loose. That's what it is. We need to tighten the motor up. But anyway, that's easy enough to do. But you can, change this to, I guess, different speeds. And even though that's not a quite straight line, I guess that'll work. I can see I need to do a little maintenance to it, but you can kind of see how the variable speed works back there in the back. Got you looking in the top. There's a little lever over here on the side that you can kind of see, and this goes to a little cam piece here, and when you push down on this, what that does is it actually takes the tension off of this. I think this is so you can change the belts out or change the bands with the files on them. So if you need to change that out, you just loosen that up and then tighten it back up. Let me make sure I get it back in the track down here on the bottom and the top. And that spring that we saw a minute ago, that kind of is what tensions everything. So I think we got it there. Yeah. And over here on the side, we got this little piece that adjusts up and down. You can got a little knob on there and a stud that comes out. I'm not exactly sure. I don't have any documentation that shows what this is supposed to be, but my guess is that there was some type of foot that you could put on this that would hold your work down while you were working on it. That's my guess. I don't know. Some of you guys may have one that's complete or know of where a picture of one that's complete is or whatever, but I don't know. It looks like it's missing something. So I'm kind of speculating here. I'm not sure what this exactly does, but I'm going to take it out of the way right now. And finally, down here on the bottom, you can loosen this up and you can tilt the table, it looks like. There is a scale there. We're on 0 right now. I see. This rod should go in and out. It's kind of rusted right now, so I'm not gonna mess with it. But this just, when you loosen this up, it slides in this, when you tighten it up, it tightens it up, but that should go down in there and support it. It needs to be taken apart and cleaned up, but yes, you can tilt the table to, looks like 25 degrees in either direction, either up or down. So it is tiltable. And it looks like there's a little throat piece up here in the top that you can adjust to when you tilt the table. Just another look there. As you can see, when you loosen this up, that should allow that little piece to slide up and down in there. It's got some rust on it, so it's not moving right now. A little bit of cleaning that up and putting a little oil on it, though, and it should work just fine. Guys, I'm literally figuring this machine out as we go, as you can probably tell. But anyway, I thought we would give it a try. I just got a little piece of steel here, and we'll try doing a little filing on it. Let's turn this on and try it out. So you can see the speed there. Whoop. We got one piece there. It looks like it's got some trash behind the file. Let me see if I can get that straightened out. Well, this might be a short video. I took the chain off, and basically it was needing to be oiled up because it's just got stiff in some places, but when I took it off, it kind of fell apart in some places here. There's a link here that came out. There's a little bitty pin that I found that came out of there, and I've tried putting that pin back in. It won't stay. Looks like it needs to be like riveted over at the top, and then there's a link up here that is missing. And this looks like the link that it puts together on, because there's a little notch on this one. Looks like you could kind of hook that chain around, but I can't find. When I took it apart, that link fell out or something, and I swear I can't find it. I'm looking all over the floor, and it just seems to have disappeared. I'm not sure where it's at, but there's issues with this chain. I'm not sure it's salvageable anyway. It has some little springs in here in these little joints right here that kind of put some tension on things, and there's a broken spring that fell out, and that's not something that I can just fix easily. I hate to say it, but I think this chain or this band file is toast. It had one link that just wasn't coming together. In fact, it may have been that one right there, because it's just not going back all together, and it was catching every time it went around. But I mean, there's no telling how old this band is, but I can't find those parts. That link that fell out, I'm definitely screwed, but I think I'm screwed anyway, just because of the broken spring and some other things that I don't think it's going to go back together. All right, I've been searching for those pieces that fell out, and I swear I can't find them. And I cleaned the shop up, right, at least in this area right here that I'm working. I swept the floor and everything before we got started. I don't know. It's a mystery. It has just kind of vanished into thin air. I did not move from right here. Anyway, it is what it is. But I don't think this is, honestly, I don't think this band is salvageable anyway. It's just too far gone. So, if anybody knows of a source for a band file for this thing, let me know. I mean, stranger things have happened around here. I've had stuff show up for stuff people had sitting on a shelf somewhere. And I guarantee you, somewhere out there in America right now, or the world, somebody's probably got a stack of boxes of brand new band files sitting on a shelf somewhere. They don't even know what they are or what they go to. And, you know, all we got to do is, you know, put them together. So you never know. If anybody knows where I can get a band file for this, let me know. If not, it may not be of much use to me. While we're talking about band files, though, let me dig some other stuff up. I'm going to show you a couple other things, because this band file concept was not only used by Grob, it was used by several manufacturers. In fact, DoAll, which is a major manufacturer of bandsaws, had band files that you could put on their bandsaws. And I've got a DoAll bandsaw, and when I bought it, it actually had the guides and stuff to run a band file. And I think I've even got some band files that a viewer sent me. And I don't know that I really want to go set it all up, because it's a lot of work to do, but I can at least show you that, show you some of the pieces there, and show you how you can do that. So let me see if I can dig some of that out. So when I talk about somewhere there's a box sitting on a shelf that has band files for that Grob saw, here are some boxes of band files that somebody has sitting on a shelf for a DoAll saw that sent to me. This is quite a while back, whenever I got my DoAll saw, and I was showing it. I've actually got, that saw came with the guides for band files, or file bands, whatever you call them. There's special guides that you have to put on there to change it out from holding a bandsaw blade to supporting the backside of that band file, and my saw had them when I got it, and someone had these sitting on a shelf somewhere. So let's see, some of these are open, some of them aren't. I'm not going to open the ones that aren't. Let's see, this one's open here. When you open this up, there's a section of band file in here, and I believe that this one was one that somebody had kind of used as a repair piece, because it's not, the whole band's not here, but you could actually splice these together if your band broke or whatever. But you can see on these DoAlls, brand spanking new files there. These are actually on a band that flexes around. They're just kind of riveted on there. And let's see, this one, I was looking a minute ago, on the side of the box, right here, 1/2 inch width. This is a flat type teeth, and this one has 10 teeth, I guess 10 teeth per inch. Two of the boxes, there's 4 boxes of these, 2 of them are 10 teeth, and 2 of the boxes are 14 teeth. So, and then it has these little folders in here that, and most of these are sealed up. I see that one, well, both of these are open. So let's open one up and see what's in it. So there's some instructions, and there's a bunch of these little pieces of band that you can actually put back together. There's some rivets in here, so different sections. So if your band breaks or you need to splice them together, you got the parts and pieces. There's little rivets here to kind of put them together. And there's instructions in here on how to do all this, how to repair your files with the different splicers and the different pieces. There is this piece here on the end has a little hook, where on the other end of this band, you just kind of hook them together. You can kind of see right here. So I get that where you guys can see it. There's the piece that kind of comes together on the end. You just kind of put that on there, pull it down, boom. So, and then you could actually rivet a new piece on there, or rivet these together to splice together the bands like I was saying a while ago. So I'm just going to leave that on there, I think. But anyway, if I ever wanted to put these on my DoAll, I could. I've never had a need to, and honestly, it's a kind of a pain to change them out. But if I ever need to, I've got some band files for it. But I'd really like to get this little small one going to dedicated, because the biggest reasons that I don't use the band file is it is such a pain to have to change out from a bandsaw blade to a file. I mean, if you had one set up to run as a file, that'd be great, but it's just not very practical to have to swap them out, because you end up spending, however much time it takes to do that. I'll go ahead and take that back off and put it back in the envelope. So each one of these boxes came with a little repair kit, and let's see, there's another one that's open in here. Let me get this all back in the box. Well, I've taken that file that came off of this and just kind of put it in a Ziploc bag with all the parts that I could find. And I'm still going to look around when I clean up some more and see if I can find the rest of those parts that fell out. Maybe we can come up with either another file or some parts or something that we can get this thing. I would like to play around with this thing, but yeah, can't do it with a broken file. So in all honesty, that didn't go quite as planned. I wasn't expecting to have that problem, but it is what it is. And yeah, like I said, maybe we can find what we're looking for. You know, I'm convinced that if you put a search out on eBay long enough, eventually something like that will pop up. I'll probably put a search in there and save search for a Grob, however you say it, band file, and maybe one will show up one day and we can kind of come back and revisit this and see if we can get this neat little band filer going. So with that, guys, that's a wrap for now. That's all we can do today. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment, hit the thumbs up button. It all helps out a bunch. Big thank you to those who support the site financially through Patreon, PayPal. Helps out as well. And with that, I'm going to get out of here. We'll catch you on the next video. Again, as always, thanks for watching.